Australian motorsport legend Allan Moffat has died at the age of 86 after a long battle with Alzheimer's disease, closing the chapter on one of the most influential careers in the history of racing. The news was confirmed by his family, who stated that Moffat passed away peacefully on Saturday at 11:05 a.m., surrounded by loved ones. His death marks the end of a remarkable life defined by championship victories, fierce rivalries, and decades of contributions that helped shape modern motorsport in Australia. The Moffat family released an official statement announcing his passing. They described him as one of Australia's most successful and admired drivers, acknowledging not only his achievements, but also the leadership and professionalism that made him a cornerstone of the sport. The family noted that he had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease in 2019 and battled the illness for several years. They said he faced his condition with courage and dignity, supported closely by those around him. Moffat was born in Canada and moved to Australia at age 17. He quickly became a dominant force in touring car racing, achieving 4 Australian Touring Car Championships and 4 Bathurst 1000 victories. His wins at Bathurst in 1970, 1971, 1973, and 1977 remain among the most iconic in the sport's history. During his prime years, he was widely recognized as the face of Ford in Australia, especially throughout the 1970s. His rivalry with Peter Brock became one of the defining stories of Australian motorsport and captured national attention for decades. His impact extended far beyond race results. Moffat's approach to racing brought a new level of structure and professionalism to the industry. He elevated the role of sponsorship, pushed for stronger team management systems, and helped refine the organizational standards that would eventually shape the Supercars championship. Many industry leaders credit him with setting the foundation for the modern era of professional racing in Australia. Supercars CEO James Warburton called Moffat one of the true giants of the sport, saying his influence stretched across generations. Warburton praised Moffat's record, referencing his 4 national championships, his 4 Bathurst wins, his 6 Sandown victories, and dozens of other accomplishments across a 3-decade career. He added that Moffat's rivalry and friendship with Peter Brock defined an entire era of competition and lifted the profile of Australian motorsport to international recognition. Warburton also said that Moffat's contributions as a mentor and ambassador remain deeply valued. He described him as a pioneer whose impact cannot be measured by statistics alone. According to Warburton, Moffat helped shape how teams operate, how drivers prepare, and how commercial partnerships are managed. He referred to Moffat as a champion who will be remembered not only for his results, but for the passion and professionalism he showed throughout his career. Tributes have come from across the racing world. Many drivers, both past and present, expressed gratitude for the influence Moffat had on their careers. Several noted that he set standards that remain in place today. His reputation extended far beyond Australia, with international competitors also acknowledging the depth of his talent and the consistency of his performances. Moffat earned multiple major honors during his lifetime. He was inducted into the Supercars Hall of Fame in 1999, the Australian Motorsport Hall of Fame in 2016, and the Sport Australia Hall of Fame in 2018. These recognitions reflected not only his extraordinary record on the track, but also his lasting impact on the sport as a whole. Even with his dominant years behind him, Moffat remained active in motorsport through advisory roles, ambassador duties, and participation in racing events. His voice carried authority, and his perspective was valued by teams, officials, and fans. He became known as a mentor to many young drivers, sharing insights drawn from decades of experience at the highest levels of competition. Moffat's career also saw success outside his work with Ford. He achieved notable results with Mazda later in his racing life, demonstrating his versatility and ability to adapt to new technology and changing competitive environments. Throughout all stages of his career, he maintained his reputation as a determined competitor who approached every race with full commitment. The circumstances of his final days were shared only in general terms, with his family confirming that he died peacefully after a prolonged illness. They said he remained surrounded by loved ones who supported him throughout his battle with Alzheimer's disease. The family expressed gratitude for the care he received and for the widespread respect shown by the motorsport community over many years. The racing world is preparing to honor Moffat's memory. Supercars officials confirmed that a tribute will take place during the upcoming Adelaide Grand Final. Organizers said the event will commemorate Moffat's career, his contributions to the sport, and the legacy he leaves behind for future generations of racers and fans. Moffat's final public messages before his health deteriorated focused on gratitude for supporters and pride in the evolution of Australian motorsport. According to those close to him, he continued to follow racing as long as his health allowed and remained aware of major developments in the sport he helped build. His final words to family members reportedly expressed relief, gratitude, and appreciation for the support he had received throughout his life and career. These personal remarks were described as calm, clear, and reflective, according to those who were present. The outpouring of tributes reflects the depth of admiration felt across the industry. Many noted that Moffat's influence is visible in every touring car race held today, from the structure of teams to the competitive standards expected at the highest levels. Younger drivers who never saw him race live have studied his techniques, watched footage of his battles, and learned from his strategic approach to racing. Allan Moffat's death marks the end of an era. His achievements remain central to Australia's motorsport identity, and his contributions will continue to shape the sport long into the future. His legacy includes championship titles, memorable victories, significant reforms to team management, and a competitive spirit that became part of Australian racing culture. He leaves behind a record that continues to define excellence in the sport and a reputation that has cemented his place among the greatest drivers Australia has ever produced. His passing has been met with widespread respect, appreciation, and reflection. The motorsport community now looks back on a career that set standards, inspired generations, and transformed the competitive landscape of racing. Allan Moffat remains a figure whose impact endures, whose accomplishments stand unmatched, and whose contributions ensured that the sport he loved will continue to thrive for decades to come.